Today, YouTube, we're going to be reacting to the top 5 gun builds in Arena Breakout. Budget plus meta. Enough yapping. Let's get right into it.
Arena Breakout. Starting at number 5, the VSS meta build. The reference price goes for 207k, while the actual build price is going to be 262k. The reason why I like the VSS so much is actually because it's a very cheap to run as a meta build. Not only the gun is it cheap, but the ammo is cheap itself, and it has an insanely high RPM, 850 RPM, just as much as the HK does. This meta recoil one has 73 vertical, while it has 58 horizontal and a 57 ergonomic. So it's pretty good. It's not going to be the biggest difference between the budget one. I, in fact, like to use the budget one overall, but this is for the VSS users. It's just to give you an option to use meta. I have tier 4 ammo in it, 7 and 9, and I'm going to be showing what it can do against a tier 5 target. As you can see, this ammo doesn't even go through the armor, but since it has 850 RPM, it's still going to pretty much take it down with quite ease. And that's tier 5 with against tier 4 bullets. Once you start mixing up tier 6 body armor with it, then yes, it's going to be a little bit dicey. But even then, it's still shredding them pretty quickly for it being tier 4 ammo. Against a tier 5 ammo with a tier 5 bullets, this is going to be 7 and 12. Against a tier 5, it's going to almost be quite instant, as you can tell.
Ooh,
RPM melts. And if it pens, it's absolutely disgusting TTK. It's why the VSS is very underrated. It's because of the rate of fire, and people don't really look into that or take account of it. Against tier 6 ammo or armor, sorry, tier 5 ammo against tier 6 armor, it's still pretty much shreds. As you can
still
tell,
melts.
Hit straight thorax, and if you have a good RNG of it penning, a tier 6 RNG go down instantly. And this gun is fairly cheap for what it can do. All right, and this is the budget version of the VSS. The reference price, that's a W, 150k, while the actual build price is going to go for $180. Ain't bad. This is the version I actually like to use.
$180 is not bad because just the mount, just the barrel, a $180 ain't bad because the barrel on the HK is 200k flat.
Myself, I don't use the meta version that much because I feel like the budget version is almost as good, adds a little bit more horizontal, but it has a 71 vertical, 54 horizontal, and 53 ergonomics. Again, we're starting off with 7 and 9. It's going to be tier 4 ammo going against a, you got to be rich with these
guns and this ammo though. Or if you don't have it, those little packs you get, see if you, I don't know if you can get that the 7 and 9, but if you could, that'd be a W. And you do get one of those quick kits with one of these, with this gun on there, so I would run that.
As you can tell, it still shreds a good bit, but you can definitely tell that it has a little bit more horizontal recoil with it, a little bit more upper kick, but once you control that, it's definitely very manageable. We're loading into the tier 5 ammo now, which is going to be 7 and 12 against a tier 5 body armor.
I never noticed to show you.
As you can tell, they're still going down with ease fairly quickly. That's why I love the VSS. I think it's a very underrated weapon because for the fact that people don't really think of the RPM behind it, how fast it shoots. This is tier 5 ammo against the tier 6 armor with the budget VSS. You can see distance is starting to get finicky, but if you're close up,
still melts close,
shredding somebody instantly. Close quarter is still shreds. So as long as you're sticking to close corners with this
making
weapon,
a grilled cheese with that gun,
fantastic.
As fast as it's melting.
Number 4, we got the AEK. Here's the AEK meta build. The reference price is 333k, while the actual price is going to be 409k. It is an expensive one.
But with the ammo, that's like $1 million. That's not even putting on anything but the gun. You might as well go in naked.
does it really hurt my heart to put the AEK at number 4? I wanted to put it at number 1. It's what I used mainly on my stream when I first started out, until people started finding out about how good it is, and yeah, started driving the price up. Now I don't use it as much, but there'll be times where I do break it out every now and then. This is the meta version. As you can see, the vertical recoil goes for 87, the horizontal recoil goes for 83, and the ergonomics goes for 63. This gun for the meta version could be quite expensive though, but I still love this gun for what it is. We're going to be shooting a tier 5 armor with BP, which is the tier 4 ammo, and then we're going to reload it with AP ammo and then do the same thing. So AEK right now, this is the meta version against a tier 5. As you can see, the reason why this meta version
like 13 bullets
is so good is because it barely even moves. It's an actual laser beam. And I believe this gun has what, 800 RPM, so 50 lower than the H4. So it's basically having not an H4, because the H4 is going to be a little bit more accurate, but you can still shoot down.
like you're revving your engine right there.
Higher damage than the 5.56. I honestly like to use this weapon against thorax and use 5.56 against headshots, but the damage behind this gun is what makes it really good.
Noted.
If it doesn't penetrate the armor, it's going to be doing a lot of damage behind the armor, where it's going to make that armor basically non-usable anymore.
Or rounds.
And then your remaining bullets are going to go straight through it. We're going to go to tier 5 ammo real quick, and we're going to shoot against a tier 5 armor.
Smelt it.
Instantly, 2 to 3 shots will kill it every single time. I think the AEK is one of the best weapons. Honestly, maybe it shouldn't deserve the number 4 platform, but the other 3 weapons are so good that I feel like I have to put them over it, or at least under it, that is. This is going to be the tier 4 ammo against a tier 6 armor.
Oh, that's not bad.
It still goes through fairly quick.
He trying to knock down a full team.
Again, because there's a lot of damage behind the round. And this is the strongest tier 6 you can be using too. This is tier 4 ammo that's shredding this tier 6 that quick. But the gun is very expensive.
Is it?
So you do gotta take that into account. And then this is gonna be AP against tier 6 armor. You can see it goes down a lot quicker.
Does it?
Almost instant. AP out of the AEK is definitely something to be reckoned with. And here's the budget AEK. I don't really like to use this much, but if I was going to be using a budget version
if you
of it,
broke,
this is how I would do it. And here's the AEK.
If you're a brokey,
the reference price is going to be going for 126k, while the actual build price is 142k.
I can buy 2 of these guns for the price of that one. I can buy this one and then buy the level 5 ammo. I'm just saying, man. We just gotta run our pockets right. Some of us ain't over 25 mil. If you over 25 mil, throw 11 in the chat.
Okay, so a lot cheaper than the meta build. I always like to use compensators over the silencers for the AEK. I feel like the muzzle flash isn't too bad. As you can see,
muzzle flash is fire.
The same thing on the meta version. This is a super cheap gun, one of the best budget guns. I think it is one of the cheapest 7.62 39s if you have it built like this. With it being so cheap, you're going to be lacking in horizontal recoil. AEK is huge with horizontal recoil. As you can tell, you're almost 30.
I am near 30.
The meta version of the AEK, and that's a lot.
Ergonomics a lot,
for this weapon, because it does have some
9
kick. But even with this version, you can put BP in it, and BP comes for quite cheap because it dropped off of the TV station boss scavs, so you can get a lot.
I didn't know that they showed a little shield right here, like the armor penetration shield. I never paid that no attention.
A lot of ammo for this for cheap, or just buy it for cheap. This is going to be the cheap version against a tier 5 armor. It's still pretty good.
Not bad.
But as you can tell, it has that little bit of bounce. Top left, top right. You see that horizontal difference?
You'd have to be pushing people and holding angles.
That's the biggest thing about it. But if they're still close quarters like this, the gun
TV station
very well. And against a tier 6 armor is going to be a little bit more dicey when you come to the range like this. But
it's not bad.
Doable. Still very doable against tier 6 armor. But if you have AP
rounds
loaded in it, I would recommend loading like a 15 AP on top, and then it can still shred tier 6 armor like that.
Shredder.
The beautiful thing, this ammo is a little bit expensive, so use this build and then top it with the ammo. You know, spend your money on the ammo and not the gun itself.
We're gonna stamp this one a shredder.
Reason why we're showing the budget weapons is because sometimes the ammo carries the gun, you know. In this case, AP is very strong, accompanied with the 800 RPM on the weapon. And against tier 5, as you can tell, it's going to straight melt like butter.
Butter, baby.
And that's the budget version, and still melts straight through tier 5 people like nothing. And coming at number 3, we have the AR-57, a very sexy looking gun. The reference price is going to come at 291k. Well, the actual build is going to be coming at 390k.
100k
Some
extra.
of you guys are going to think that I'm crazy putting it at number 3. A lot of you guys are going to think it's number 1. But me personally, the top 2 guns that I have ranked over this makes more sense for my play style. But I understand if a lot of you guys think this gun is top tier. I'm pretty sure it is the number 1 crown on mobile arena. So I don't doubt that a lot of you guys are gonna not agree.
It is on mobile.
For me personally, I think the ammo is a little bit expensive for it as well. But the RPM, the recoil,
Yeah, because I think the tier 4 ammo is like I bought some last night. It was like 1900 a round.
everything comes out to an H416. It's basically the same weapon as the H416. The ammo has a little bit more drop off than it, but the reason why I put it at number 3 is because I just think it's the same as the H416, and it's not M61. So that's the reason why. But other than that, the gun is very good. This gun is also a lot cheaper than the H416. So if you like that, then definitely use this a lot more than that. But right now we're going to be starting out just like the VSS and the AEK. We're going to be starting out with tier 4 ammo, SS190, and we're going to be shooting a tier 5 target. See how fast it melts.
My ankle is killing me.
You basically don't even have to pull down with this thing. It's absolutely a laser.
My gosh.
Absolutely crazy. As you can see, even the end targets down there, basically easy shooting all the way down there. You can snipe with this gun fully automatic. But when you put that tier 5 ammo in, SS198, that's when it starts to really outperform a lot of the other weapons. As you can see, it is just instant shred through with the 850 RPM.
Oh my god, it's a paper shredder.
Thorax faster than
make your armor look like paper.
They're using tier 5 and below, you know, like you can use M61. The M61 is not going to down a tier 5 armor this fast. You're gonna have a trouble going through a little bit of tier 6, but other than that, they will drop insanely fast if you use this weapon. We're gonna be trying against tier 4 ammo now against a tier 6 target. As you can tell with the RPM of it, you can still
not bad
instantly beam them. If a target's not paying attention to you and they're this far down sniping someone else, if you just do that to them, that's plenty of time to kill them before they even turn and look at you if they're not paying attention. And look at that range that you're shooting at. And this is tier 4 ammo, SS190. Why this gun is very strong is because of what it can do at range. Now you put tier 5 ammo in it, SS198, even against tier 6 targets, it's still gonna shred them up. You treat them like nothing.
Butter.
Even the downrange targets, as you can tell. This gun is very good. One of the problems with it, just like 5.56, is the ammo itself is very expensive. So when you're shooting it, you don't realize how much you're shooting. All right, and here's the budget version of the AR-57. The reference price is going to go for 159k.
That's not bad.
The actual build price is going to be 202k. Not much difference between
That's not
the
bad.
budget and then the meta version. As you can tell, the front looks completely the same. It's just really the stock. You remove the stock, it's going to bring down the vertical, I think just 7 amount. The reason why I'm not using the grip one with the stock is because it gives you a little bit of ergo with it as well. And I think it's around 50 to 100k ish cheaper. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I'm going to show you why this gun still slays out as a budget version. Honestly, the budget version is what I love to use of this weapon. I don't really use the meta version that much because I don't think it needs it as much. You can tell this is SS190 going against a tier 5 target. Budget version, it's still a laser, not much difference from the actual meta version.
Facts.
As you can tell, even down range to targets, I'm having no issue getting to. So for me, it's not really beneficial to add the meta parts for the cost, but
you
if you're an
hungry?
AR-57 lover, of course, that's why I left the meta version in there for you, so you can test it out yourself. Now, this is going to be the budget version with SS190, oh, on 198, sorry, the tier 5 ammo against a tier 5 armor. You can tell, just like the meta, just instantly goes down.
Ankle is killing me. Sorry
Honestly,
about that.
no competition. The AR-57 is crowned the #1 weapon on mobile for a reason. It is actually disgusting. Definitely a very good weapon, and if you haven't used it that much, honestly, you are sleeping. This is a tier 4 ammo against a tier 6 target with the budget version.
It's not bad.
As you can tell, it still goes fairly quick.
I would love to see it going against a helmet.
SS198.
Is that I lose a lot of fights on the helmets.
Tier 6 targets, and they go down that much faster. AR-57, I wouldn't say it's slept on. Probably the most used weapon on mobile and one of the most used weapons on PC as well. But that's why a lot of you guys are going to call me crazy for making it number 3. But you're going to see what.
Let's see what's number 1 and 2.
All right, coming at number 2, we got the M110. Here's the meta M110 build that I like to use. Reference price is 329k. Well, the actual build price is going to go out to 420k. The reason why I put this on number 2 over the first place is because I'm not too much of a sniper myself. This could arguably
I'm right there with
number 1, and my number 1 spot could be your number 2. It's depending on how you like to play in your play style. For me personally, I like to push a little bit more. So I don't use the M110 as much unless I'm just kind of getting destroyed by M61 all day and I kind of want to fight fire with fire. The gun itself costs a good pricey penny for the meta version, but it is highly worth it. Right now we're going to be starting off shooting tier 4 ammo. I'm only really shooting tier 4 ammo right now just for the fact that for all the other builds we did, I've shot in tier 4 ammo starting off and then tier 5. But I don't think it's quite fair to use tier 4 ammo in this because not much people are usually going to use tier 4 ammo. But for the sake of being fair, I am going to use tier 4 ammo against a tier 5 class right now. As you can tell, it's very snappy ergo wise this build compared to the build we're going to be showing later on. But 2 shots, 3 shots, it's going to vary between, that was 4, 2. So depending on if you have a good RNG and it pens, it could be 2 shots, it could be 4, it could be 5 shots with level 4. And it's going to take a little bit of time to kill. So the other weapons definitely have higher TTK, but you got to remember this is tier 4 ammo, and usually people aren't going to be using tier 4 ammo in an M110.
5 or 6.
We got M62 right here. As you can tell, it's going to be a guaranteed 2 shots every single time. It's going to be level 5 armor with level 5 ammo. You can tell it's 2 shots guaranteed. The hip fire is not the best. I mean, it's all right. They changed the hip fire from season 0 to season 1. They drastically nerfed it. On nerfing the FAL as well. That's why the FAL isn't in my second spot, is because I don't think the FAL has the best recoil now anymore. And I think that gun is best used as a tap gun. And at that point, I think M110 is best used as a tap gun instead. For the fact that it has a longer barrel and it's going to do more damage when you do penetrate. With the FAL, a tier 6 armor, it's going to take 3 bullets, while an M110 it's going to take 2. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like against tier 5 armor against tier 6. It's going to be 5 bullets. 2 bullets.
5 to 10. Yeah.
5 bullets. I might have headshot him the second time. It'll be 5. 5. 4. 6. So tier 5 ammo against tier 6 is obviously not the best. I honestly would
Still
like
does
to
the
use
job.
an AR-57 over tier 5 ammo against tier 6 at this point because of RPM. But if
Boy, you
use
dehydrated.
M61, as you can tell, it's going to be a guaranteed 2-tap, and that's why I rank this gun
Number 2.
as the best gun there is. It's because it instantly 2-taps everything. Even if you have a tier 6 helmet,
Number
it's
2.
gonna 1-tap, 2-tap.
Give me the
matter what,
2-tap.
It's king of shooting through all armors, and that's why it's going to be at the second place for me. All right, and here is the budget version of the M110 I like to use. The reference price is going to be 141K. Well, the actual build price,
$188.
188K.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Tell, there's no scope on this. When I'm rocking budget, I would just rather rock no scope and just kind of squint and tell where they are at the distance and go for headshots. This gun is still very good for the budget. It's actually extremely a lot cheaper compared to the meta version. And I mean, the gun itself is going to be doing the same thing. It's just going to be having a little bit less ergonomics. As you can tell, it's a little bit slower to the draw.
Yeah, just a little bit.
With the marksman rifles, you're not going to tell the vertical that much. You can tell about it a little bit, but as you can tell, it's still just 2-tap it. Take a little bit more time. It's going to be 2-tapping everything. This is M62. It gets level 5 armor. You saw what M80 does already. Not really much point in showing that. And then against a tier 6 armor, it's going to be the same thing. About 5 to 6 bullets as the meta. And with M61, even with tier 6 or tier 5, it's going to be the same. 2 shots hit.
Your 2-piece. How many shots you want? 2, please.
Honestly, I like the cheap version a lot more than the meta version as well. The meta version
Me
just
too.
costs extremely a lot. I'd rather stick with this cheap version, you know, rock with the red dot, just go for headshots, lay it at sight, down at range. And it's gonna treat you well. You just gotta focus on your shots more, and it'll treat you just fine. But that is the M110, and that's why I have it on number 2. It's because the M61 itself, not really the gun, but the M61 itself. And finally, at
The number 1,
we got the H416. The reference price is going to be at 421K, while the actual build price is going to be a whopping 500.
$500,000, no ammo. And he has a 60-round drum on there.
142K, which comes out to be the most expensive build on this list. Is my personal favorite weapon. I just think it's just so goddamn sexy to not have in the number 1 spot. 5.56, yes, it can be 5.56 at times. Sometimes it could be inconsistent. But again, just like the AR-57, just like the VSS, the RPM is what makes this gun so strong. It's 50 more RPM than the M4 itself, and I'm pretty sure you can get the recoil a little bit higher as well. You can get it higher than this, but this is going to be my silenced one. Me personally, with how fast the H4 shoots, I like to run it suppressed for the fact I don't like to see the muzzle flash. Now, this is the most expensive gun in the game. This can go up to 500K. That's the one bad thing about it. That's why I like to use the AR-57 and the VSS over this at sometimes, but it is what it is. Sometimes you got to spend money to make money, but I'm gonna show why it's such a good gun. Right now, we're gonna be shooting 5.5A1. As you can see, against the thorax, 5.5A1 still shreds tier 5 armor, and this is tier 4 bullet. Now, the reason why I like the H4 so much, other than the other guns, is because headshots. It's so easy to headshot compared to other guns with how much of a laser it is. You can argue the same thing for the AR-57 too. It's really a headshot machine. The other guns I like to aim for the thorax. But whenever you have a weapon with high RPM that shoots as fast as this, with a 5.56 bullet, I just love headshotting people. I'm going to show you what it looks like against tier 6 armor with tier 4 bullets, which is what I usually do all the time. I usually shoot 5.5A1 out of this gun and just kind of gamble with my life, knowing that I'm going to have to shoot them
a couple more bullets.
they shoot me. Me personally, I like the cheap version of this weapon because I don't like to spend 600k, and I don't like to spend a lot of money on 995. But if money wasn't an option, that's what I'm kind of taking in effect here. If money was an option, I'd rather go with this weapon, and I'd rather go with 995 all day, all night. This is what's going to be 995 is going to be looking like against a tier 6 armor. As you can see, it basically instantly fries them, and you can instantly shoot heads at range.
Downrange.
Instant fries them. And when they're wearing a tier 5 armor, it's just going to go that much faster.
My man said insta fries.
That's why I love this weapon. This is my personal favorite weapon, but the budget version of it, it's not that bad too, and we're going to be taking a look at it right here. And here's the budget version of it. The reference price is 235k, and the actual build price is 314k.
Oh, you can't see
budget-ish, you know, still expensive. Now,
right now,
I said I don't like compensators on an H4 because the fire rate, but this is the budget version of it, and it does have a short barrel, so it doesn't get in the way too much. It sounds weird. You think it would have more of an effect since it's a short barrel, the muzzle flash, but for me, I just don't see it as much. Has my little handy blue little compensator on the end of this one. I think this build is 83 vertical, so I think it's what, 8 under this one. It is, but this is also a very good build. Not only is it good because it still shreds everything, but if you do die, your teammate can pack it up. It's a 2x4, so it's actually very nice to be packed up with as well. So W key your little hearts out because the gun will mostly come back to you a lot of times if you do got good teammates. The gun itself is still expensive.
I'm solo, so it's gone.
Expensive overall. But even with it being a budget version of the weapon, it's still an absolute laser, even with 83 recoil. Here's what it looks like with tier 4 bullets, 55A1 against a tier 5 armor. As you can tell, just like the AR-57, just like the VSS, even when you have an ammo that doesn't pen it 100% of the time, it's still going to shred it.
Still melts.
For the fact that the RPM is so high that you're just throwing a crazy amount of bullets on the target.
Can I get a shredder?
That armor is going to be getting destroyed. So it doesn't matter if you're using less armor or less penetration ammo. That armor is still going to have a bad time. As long as you just push shots down range on the thorax, it's going to instantly eat the armor. It's 5A1 against tier 6. As you can tell, it's still not that bad. You think that's a little bit bad, but if someone's distracted, if they're looking this way and you just get a jump on them, you can put down a tier 6 person very quick and get a jump on somebody. You just have to play a little bit smart if you're using a little bit less tier ammo. With 995, just like the meta version, still can instantly put away the targets against tier 5. You're still going to be able to shoot range like that. Can take you a little bit more, but as you can tell, they still go down.
I wonder how many rounds with that thing.
Horizontal with it, but that's about all. And against a tier 6 target, it's still very good.
It's still viable.
That's my 5 favorite weapons. Rate them however you would like. That's just the order I like to use them. I tried to give you guys a budget, a meta version. Let me know if you like this kind of type of video. I'm
probably would have taken the VSS out.
In the future, maybe I do some more map guides and PvP guides and all
that. Gun sells a lot.
With a budget and a meta version weapon guide right now. Hopefully you guys like it. Let me know if you guys use the build yourself, and if so, what kind of raids did you have with them, and did you clap out? Did you have good luck with them? Let me know. I'm very interested. Put a comment down below. I appreciate you guys tremendously. Again, let me know what you like. Let me know if you would like to see more of these. Make sure you subscribe.